Next is subject ticket prices for smaller venues. Kevin from Monterey. Before I ask the question, I know the first answer is book better shows. So with that being said, AEW recently decided to start running smaller venues. Do you believe it is better to run smaller venues or reduce the price of tickets? If rights fees are so staggeringly big, couldn't one simply lower the cost of tickets to entice a bigger crowd? Or do you believe that people aren't compelled to go to shows, period? I ask because I'm often invited by my friends to go see AEW when they tour San Jose. It's a 45-minute drive, but honestly, if it isn't a pay-per-view, I'm not going. My buddy's a paramedic and gets discounted tickets, 4 for $25 total. So when he has tickets, I'll go, but I'm not dropping $50 for Dynamite or Collision. Should Tony run a bigger building as a loss leader and offset it with the rights fees money, or continue going to smaller venues where the seats are full, but the presentation seems less than? My answer for this is basically on the stuff that I've been saying on the show. Okay, AEW's problem, and it's been this problem for 5 years, okay, is their fans gravitate to big shows. Okay, the pay-per-views, and everybody's pay-per-views should seem important, more important than the regular shows. But a lot of people forego the weekly TV just to watch the pay-per-views because the vibe is that that's where the best matches are going to be on the pay-per-views.
Very good point. Very good point.
So what happens is then they take their weekly TV. They're having a difficult time because Tony is a rookie booker, and they're having time writing.
Put some
stories.
respect on his name, dude, or I'm just going to walk out.
Book of the year. They're having trouble writing compelling storylines. And your writing compelling storylines means your weekly TV suffer, and fans don't think that anything really big is going to be happening on these shows, and that's why their attendance over the course of time started dwindling because it's difficult to write weekly television, very difficult. Like I said, especially when you're doing it all by yourself on multiple shows. So they didn't fix the problem. Be like, hey, get some help on these shows, more compelling stories to keep your attendance, good for the weekly television. And now everybody's kind of just given up on the weekly TV, which means you can't run a big building anymore because it costs too much. So cutting back to the smaller venues is the way to go because you're having difficulty doing weekly television, and that's been their problem from the get-go almost. Go ahead.
And also remember that is very true. People know the TV isn't that good, but they know the pay-per-views will be, and they just probably watch little snippets just to keep knowing what's going on, but to watch the whole show. But that's what happens, bro, when you get a guy, okay, that's never been in the business. You don't have to be in the business, but it really helps when you've been in the business, okay? Right. This was a guy that never been behind the scenes, wasn't a writer, wasn't a producer, was nothing. He was just a fan,
right?
Okay, and now he's running this,
right?
But he is the 4-time booker.
Yeah, and you have that fan base that likes the work, and the pay-per-views are 5-star matches and 4 shows. Like we're not going to miss that. Right. But it's like the weekly television provider something like, well, we can miss this easy. It's like that's what's going on. So,
right.
Perfect example. Okay, Will Ospreay is one of your big draws on pay-per-view because people think his pay-per-view match is going to be, this might be a real big deal. It's like, dude, nobody's going to be watching him wrestle AR Fox on a weekly television show. And that's like
but you got to remember, Disco. It's a good match. That's all they care about.
I know, but
I've heard this from the wrestlers themselves.
Right. Exactly.
He just cares about good matches. I go, why didn't he do this? Why didn't he do that? He just cares about good matches.
Right. Yeah. But your sell is like
a hardcore mark.
Right. But the perception is reality. Your pay-per-view matches are better than your TV matches for some reason.
100%.
So it's like,
and you have the same people for your TV.
Right.
You're not. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So. That's why I always say, you're a hater. I don't give what you think. Here's the thing. That AEW to me was where you go for your career to wallow.
Right.
Very few guys have been able to really make a superstar, maybe besides MJF, and look at the job they did with him a year ago. Right.
So the thing is
look at all the good they wrote for The Rock, all the good they wrote for Eddie, all the good they wrote for Austin, for DX, when they knew something was hot. You know what I'm saying? Look at all the they've written for Punk.
Right.
Yeah.
So Cody. Right. But the thing is like ultimately what you said, when it's out there in the ether that everybody knows, okay, their pay-per-views are great. It's like, and you're promoting good wrestling. It's like, well, for on the one, this might be good wrestling, but I'd rather see great wrestling. I'm going to wait till the pay-per-view. And that's the thing. So
I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. My brother, Road Dogg. Remember when he came on the show? He was unemployed.
Yeah.
And we gave him the rub because I said somebody's going to employ you, and I don't know if Road Dogg ever thanked us, but you're welcome anyways. Bro, I would have had Tony call him up and bring him in there and to help him write the show. Because Road Dogg was in the hottest period in wrestling scene, and he's been in the business since he was a kid.
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers. As a special offer for listeners, new customers get $5 off a starter pack by using code K100 at shopmando.com. That's shopmando.com. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Smell fresher, stay drier, and boost your confidence from head to toe with Mando. Next is from our boy Adam DeMoy, who's Tony Schiavone's confidant from Milton, Florida. And it's a prop of a lifetime. I know the wrestlers view them as props, but fans view them as prestigious. Talk about title belts. I think one of the bigger issues AEW is having is that their titles are viewed by most fans as being beyond meaningless. So how can AEW make their main titles prestigious? Who needs to hold the title and make their main title belts mean something? I think the obvious problem is what prompted Tony Snowjob to, in the beginning, buy up old WCW stars and put his world title on Jericho in the beginning. He was trying to buy credibility and prestige for his championship belts in the eyes of the neckbeard marks. There's no question. Wait, how can they make their titles prestigious, and who needs to hold the titles and make them mean something, Kay? P.S. As punishment for being a fat, out-of-shape, no-good-for-nothing pro wrestling announcer, talk about that Tony Schiavone. I'm making him watch some classic Disco Inferno matches this month, and he gets the honor of watching the famous Honky Tonk Man's infamous 2005 one night, one match in Jersey from the Jersey Shore. He gets to watch Honky Tonk get picked up from JFK and the entire car ride over to the Jersey Shore where Honky buries everyone in the business. I'll watch that link here. I'll attach that link if you want to watch it later from my burner YouTube channel. So he's got to think of like the Honky Tonk Man burying people on a car ride, okay, so whatever. But that's a PS.
Well, that's not in you for the Honky Tonk, man.
Yeah, but AEW has fought, bro. The fact that they were, they had all these belts. What happened to the rankings, by the way? When was the last time they had rankings? Remember they had rankings for stuff like
AWA, the NWA, and you usually read it in the wrestling magazines.
But they had rankings on the show. Remember that? Like, okay, so
on the show itself,
yeah.
Bro,
so
let me just say one real quick thing. When you mention Honky Tonk Man, bro, every time I talk to Honky Tonk Man, I always feel like I'm watching something out of the past. Like old school wrestler, and he's still like a carny. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I love that.
Yeah, but AEW's got a belt problem because it's
too many belts that don't matter.
Right.
They're like when they said, "Oh, we're gonna put together that Atlantic belt with the content or whatever it was," I was like, "So
the trios championships mean absolutely nothing."
Right.
Like zero, like a scale of 1 to 10.
Who even has them now?
Well, they had a match for the titles on this weekend. Was the Blackpool Combat Club against the AR Fox and Dante Martin? Did the Blackpool Combat Club have the Trio Championship show?
Yeah, Pac, Claudio, and Wheeler Yuta.
Like, who would know that?
I don't know. It's like they defend them like once every 2 months.
Right, and when did they win them at ROH?
Random match, yeah. So,
yeah.
Yo, what's up? I just want to thank you guys for watching this clip. Don't forget to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And join our YouTube membership for hours and hours of exclusive, unedited, uncensored content. And being a member will help you get involved in our upcoming live streams. Thank you for your support. Thank you for riding with us. I know you got a lot of other podcast choices, be it wrestling or other ones. And thank you for picking us. Boom.